Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 predictions for the 2018 Brownlow medal. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So coming up at number 5, I actually have Brody Grundy. A lot of you guys will actually agree. I know some of you guys might disagree with this, but I definitely think Brody Grundy has had an absolutely outstanding season. And after this recent final series, I actually think that the topic of who's the better ruckman out of Max Gawn and Brody Grundy, for the whole year I thought it was Max Gawn. But judging from these final series now, I actually kind of think that Brody Grundy might now be the best ruckman in the AFL. Like, just look at these stats. Averages 21 disposals per game for a ruckman. That is just sensational. 40 hitouts per game, 4 marks, and 5 tackles. He's just like an extra midfielder, but he could actually, like, potentially be better than a lot of the midfielders in the AFL. Like, he just does his role as a ruckman so well, and he's like the modern type ruckman of the AFL. So I definitely think he will poll well, and so does the AFL Brownlow predictor. Alright, so coming in at number 4 on my list, I have Patrick Cripps from the Carlton Football Club. Definitely their best player, and probably their best player they've had in so long. I will 100% think this player will poll very well, and some people even think that he could go on to actually win the Brownlow itself. I don't think he will win the Brownlow, but he'll come very close to it. He averages 30 disposals a game and 17.5 contested possessions. To be honest, I'm actually kind of worried for him next year, considering how much he's been bruised and everything this year. He's had such a rough year trying to carry the Carlton Football Club over the line. He hasn't had, like, any help at all. He's maybe had one or two players even help him out. Maybe even one or two players even show some potential at the Carlton Football Club, like Charlie Curnow, Sam Fisher, and players like that. But yeah, one of my mates actually always jokes about how he's gonna injure himself. He's a massive Carlton supporter, and yeah, he's always just joking that he's gonna injure himself, for example, like do a knee or something. I don't think that's gonna happen. I actually hope that he even gets better from this, and I think he has the potential to become one of the best players in the AFL. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so coming up at number 3 on my list, I actually have Tom Mitchell. Now, I know I might get some angry comments for this, and a lot of people are actually going to say he will win the Brownlow. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he does win the Brownlow, but I just have I just think that he has a chance maybe not to poll as well as most people think he'll poll. He does average 35 disposals a game, and he has kicked a bunch of goals this year. For example, he averages more than 0.5 goals a game, so basically a goal in every second game that he plays, and he wasn't the worst in this year's final series, but I just don't think he does enough with the ball. Like, you wouldn't think that someone could be able to say that after getting 35 disposals per game, and I actually don't think he's been a lot better than he was last year. I think he's actually kinda a little bit overrated, but that's just my personal opinion, and I might get like a lot of hate comments for saying that. Don't get me wrong, I think Tom Mitchell is an absolutely great player and is definitely the best inside midfielder in the AFL. I just don't think his 35 disposals are as effective as a lot of people say they are. Alright, so coming at number 2 on my list, I actually have Max Gawn. Now, the reason I have Max Gawn up here, and yes, I do think he has been the best ruckman in total for the year, is he's averaged 16 disposals per game, definitely a lot less than Brody Grundy has, and I would say they're very, like, two different type of players. Brody Grundy's more around the ground, while Max Gawn's your genuine type of ruckman. He averages 45 hitouts per game, which I think is 5 more hitouts per game than what Brody Grundy is. But the thing he does really well is the hitouts to advantage. He's very good for that and very known for that, and I definitely think he'll poll because he's just been very hyped this year. Everyone's been talking about him, like, look at that beard. The umpires are going to notice that, and they're going to immediately go, holy crap, I'm going to vote for that guy just because of his beard. No, like, clearly jokes here, but he's just been incredible this year, even though I think he was one of the most disappointing players in this year's final series, especially against West Coast. I definitely think he, like, kind of got crushed by, like, Lycett and all that type of stuff. Definitely wasn't one of Melbourne's worst, though, but I just thought maybe he could have done a bit better, and I know it would have been very hard for him considering it was very hot up there. And yeah, he had to compete against 2 ruckmen who were swapping rotations and all that type of stuff. He had to follow them down the forward line, follow them down the back line. But I did think he was still very disappointing considering what the year he has had. But yeah, as I just said, I do think he will extremely poll well. The umpires are going to notice the beard. He's really tall. He's been really hyped. Alright, coming out at number 1, I actually have a player who I definitely think I might get a bit of hate for putting him at number 1. But that is Dustin Martin. Now, Dustin Martin, as we know, won the Brownlow last year and had a very slow start to this year in the, obviously, in his games and stuff like that. There was rumors he was carrying a bunch of injuries. But at the end of the year, he played like so many good games. I think there was about 6 to 8 of them. About, I'd say 4 to 5 of them, he'll get about 3 votes each in all of the games. He was very dominant. Definitely a very poor year for him, and one of the more like worst years he's had in a couple years. But this year, not a lot of people are going to be contesting for the Brownlow, and I do think he has a sneaky chance. And AFL Brownlow predictor actually has him at number 1, and I can't blame them. Obviously, there's also the other theory that the umpires extremely love Dustin Martin, and they showed off with a couple of frees that he got this year. Not towards the end of the year. I think it was actually after the umpires got criticised and so much hate for some of the frees he was being given. Some of the ones that he actually should have been given, they just didn't even give it to him and actually gave it to the defender, which was a bit confusing for a Tigers fan, I would say, because as I just said, the ones he shouldn't have got, he got, but the ones he should have got, he didn't get, and it was just a little bit confusing. But he does average 25 disposals per game this year, and he's kicked 31 goals, so that's about 1.3 goals per game. He's one of the top in the AFL at score involvements, goal assist, all that type of stuff, and he's Dustin Martin. He's going to poll well. He's played very good at the end of the year and was probably the best player in the last 4 rounds or so. So I definitely think that he has a chance to win it, although I just think it'll be up to the top 3 players on my list. Who will win it out of them? I think it'll be either Tom Mitchell, Max Gawn, or Dustin Martin. One of the 3. It could even be a draw for all we know. I would love to see Max Gawn draw it with Dustin Martin, or even Tom Mitchell draw with Dustin Martin, or Tom Mitchell and Max Gawn. You know, I don't really care. I'm kind of rooting for Dusty because I'm obviously a Tigers fan. But anyway, I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. Who will win this year's Brownlow in the comment section down below. Obviously, the Brownlow is Monday night, and this video should be coming out Monday morning or something like that. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a comment what your predictions are. So anyway, I also uploaded a new video on my IRL channel. Make sure you guys go check that out. Subscribe to my gaming channel, link in the description down below. Everything will be in the description, all the links. Yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.